What's up, everyone? It's Reese from Pokernomix here. I am out here in Orlando, Florida for a work conference all week. And the first round of meetings just wrapped up. It's Tuesday, November 9th. And the next round of meetings don't start till tomorrow evening. So it's time to get some poker in. So right now, we're going to go check out Orange City Poker. Just looked at their list, saw they had a 5-5 PLO game going. Let's go put in some work.
All right, so our first playable hand after about a half an hour of folding, we're going to look down on our $5 button straddle at the 9-6-6 queen with the 9-6 of clubs. Hey, this is not the prettiest hand, but this is Omaha, low stakes PLO. In the half hour I've been here, I've seen several pots where 5 or 6, 7 players were taking flops with, minimally raised hands. So a lot of action here. The cutoff actually is going to open on this hand for 20 bucks. We're going to call in position. They're going to end up getting 4 callers, 5 of us to the flop. So $100 pot. Bam, right out the gate, we're just going to flop Jen. 8-6-3 rainbow with a backdoor club draw, middle set. We're feeling great about this hand. In the short time I've been here, the cutoff that opened in this hand had not opened pre-flop at all, and so when I see the continuation bet on this flop, I'm thinking clearly they have it, probably aces, some kind of big pair. Maybe they'll call off slim. We pot it, and everybody folds. We scoop a nice little pot, win a couple $100 to start off our session. Shortly after we drag this pot, our name gets called for the 5-5 table. We add on 1,000. Let's go. All right, so first hand at the big game, we look down at Queen, Queen, 4-5 with the Queen, 4 of hearts. And been lurking on this table. It's deep stacked, looked like it was live. I saw a lot of pots happening. It was right next to the 1-2 table I was at. And yeah, as I suspected, live table, we're going to get 6 callers, 105 in the pot. Flop is going to come out 8-3-6 with 2 clubs. We've got the bottom end of an open ender, an overpair, and a backdoor heart draw. Not a ton of equity here, and against this many players, obviously there's going to be some flush draws out there. So, looking back on this, maybe not an optimal play here, but did bet 100 on the flop. Got 2 callers, middle position and a late position player to my right, both called. The turn comes the deuce of clubs, so turn the nut straight on the club board. I have 1 club in my hand, and the river comes out a just very neutral blank king of diamonds here. So at this point, middle position, actually first to act in the hand, he is going to bet out 80. The player in between us is going to fold, and I reluctantly call, and I hear him say this.
If I didn't raise, I win.
Which is not what you want to hear when you make a speculative call on the river. Calling off light in this spot with this just thin value bet, not a good spot. On to the next one. All right, our next hand, we're going to pick up Ace, Queen, Jack 10 double suited, diamonds and clubs on our straddle, on the button. A couple of people have limped around. Man, a hand like this, we are going to pop it. So we pot it, ends up being 60 to go here. And we're going to get 2 people that are going to end up calling, and we're going to take a flop here, 3-handed with me on the button, $200 in the pot. Let's see what we hit. So the flop comes out King, Queen, Deuce. We flop a pair, a wrap, and a backdoor diamond draw. This is just a monster hand. Checks around to us on the button. We're going to bet it for 150. And there's 1 player in the hand that ends up calling. He's short stacked, had about $100. Wants to run it twice, we do. We peel off Broadway on the first board. Second board comes out running 4s. We just have second pair here. It ends up being good. So that was awesome, man. We got to scoop this hand. We pick up this next hand on the button with the $10 straddle. We look down at Queen, Queen, Jack 10 with Jack 10 of clubs. We're going to open for our standard 60 here. And true to this wild game, we end up getting 4 callers, making the pot $320 pre-flop with us on the button with a monster. We end up flopping a Queen 10-4 with 2 hearts. We flop top set, but it's a wet board, and we have a 10 in our hand also, kind of counterfeiting our boat outs. Checks around to us, we pop for 320 and end up getting 2 callers to take a turn card here. Brings the pot up to $1,280. The turn comes a 5 of spades, making this board even wetter, bringing more flush and straight draws. My stack size is funky at this point. I only have 230 bucks. They check around to me, and so I bet that 230, and both players call. This pot gets up to 2 grand. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have bet maybe 2/3 or 3/4 pot on the flop, and then on the turn had a little bit more. And on the river comes a king of hearts. One guy checks, the other guy pots, and I know I'm toast. Just light it on fire. And yeah, gentleman over to my right here shows us a straight draw and flush draw, and even turned more straight draw outs. So he drags that in with the nuts. Now here is the hand of the night, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bomb pot on the button. It's $25 bomb pot. Look down at a king 9 10 5 raggy hand with king 9 of spades. Gonna have to flop a couple of miracles to make this worthwhile here. But we do have position, and this is a wild game. And man, these boards come out all right. First board comes out 10-4-10 with the 10-4 of spades. I flop top pair and a king high flush draw. And the second board comes out queen 3 jack with the jack of spades. I flop a wrap and a backdoor spade draw. Action checks around to me, and I'm going to bet 75. Player in early position is going to think about it for a minute and check raise me to 275. Probably repping a 4 here. We're going to call with all the equity we have on the second board. And we think we might even be possibly live with the 10 or a spade on the top board. And man, we hit lightning. We turn trips with the 10 of hearts on the top board and a deuce of diamonds on the second board here, adding a flush draw to that one. With us thinking that he repped a 4 on the flop with the check raise, he kind of sheepishly checks the turn. That's a good sign. And we're going to bet here. We're going to see where we're at. So we bet 300. And this player's going to go in the tank for a minute, and he's going to eventually call this bet. The rivers come out, a deuce of clubs on the top board, kind of a blank, and an 8 of diamonds on the second board, giving us the nut straight. Again, he's going to kind of sheepishly check to us. Now, we're confident we're at least getting half this pot. There's a possibility, though, that we could scoop this pot and get him to call off light. I think if he has a 4 here, I might be able to get some value. So I bet 1,000 here, and the gentleman's going to tank for a little bit. Eventually, he's going to make the call, making this a $3,300 pot. That's when we give him the news.
I got a 10 and a straight. 9. King 10, 9 10.
3 10s, 9 10 straight.
Oh, straight too, huh?
Yeah.
Scoops. I had 4 and a 2 top 2. Nice hand.
Now this hand couldn't have happened at a better time. Our table was about to break, the action players had left or busted, and this was about to be downgraded to a 1-2 game. So I was stuck 3 grand when this happened, eke out a little win here, and call it a night.
All right, guys, so we're wrapping up another session here. This was a 6-hour session here at that Orange City Card Club. Shout out to staff here. They are awesome. Thank you for letting us vlog. Cool place, man. I've enjoyed my sessions here. Was into the 5-5 PLO game for 3 grand. Was in for 1,500. Got stacked on that top set hand, and reloaded for 1,500. Obviously, that bomb pot at the end of the night. Shit, that was like a 3K pot. That got us winner. Ended up cashing out 34.30, making 430 bucks. 6 hours, not bad. I was just glad to dig out in this one because it was a slower table. I was card dead, and man, those bomb pots are just brutal sometimes. So yeah, happy with everything. Gonna be heading back now, and I may try to sneak another session in later before we head out this week. But Florida's always a good time. Shout out to everyone here. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Follow us for more poker content at Pokernomix on all the social media platforms. We'll see y'all next time. Later.